Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. This is the weekend edition. We're still using the same topic that we had on Thursday, which was educating the global black family about the financial elite's attempt to whitewash our history. And this evening, our guest speaker is Evangelist Stephanie O'Neill. So, okay, can you tell me some of your thoughts about, what I posted on Thursday?
Yes, I think it's very unfortunate that they're trying to black out our history. I mean, I think it's an insult to us as a people because we have suffered at the hands of white people for many, many years. It's a shame that they want to write out, from our generation, well, not our generation, from the new generation coming up. A lot of them have not been taught the black history that we have coming up in school. A lot of them don't even know who Malcolm X is. They barely know who Dr. Martin Luther King is. And it's like they're trying to wipe out all of the history. Like I said, I think it's a very unfortunate thing because it's our history. It's something, it's our truth. It's our testimony. It's where we came from. It's what we've been through. It's like Jesus, not Jesus, but God, when he told Moses to always remind the children of Israel how he brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. God wanted records to be made of his mighty acts and the things that he did. That's why the book of Acts is in the Bible. It's telling us the different acts of the disciples, how God worked through the disciples by the power of the Holy Spirit to bring forth healing and deliverance and to set the captives free. And the same thing that they did in the biblical days back in those times, God is wanting to do right now. He's wanting to revive the nation. He's wanting to rebuild the broken places. He wanted to bring the things that are upside down, right side up. And the powers that be, which we understand in the spiritual sense, as the kingdom of light and the kingdom of darkness. We know that God is the only true and living God, which is Yahweh Elohim. And Jesus is Yeshua HaMashiach, which means the Messiah. God is God and there's none above him. And he uses us humans as his hands and his feet. And to go in like the situation with China, going over there in Africa and having the Africans to borrow all these bogus amounts of money that they can't be able to pay back. And then they're trying to ultimately steal Africa and the land and to steal their resources. Because there are a lot of natural resources in Africa that are needed here. And in other countries, a lot of countries depend upon Africa and their resources. And so we have to open our eyes. The Lord says, a little sleep, a little slug, a little folded of the hand, so shall your poverty be. So as people are lying asleep spiritually and not opening their eyes to the manifestation of what God is trying to reveal about what's going on in the nation, a lot of people are going to go through poverty, not because they have to, but because they chose to. Because he's revealing things, just like before the pandemic happened last year, the Lord put in my spirit genocide. And this was even right before I met Mr. Emmanuel Barbee. The Lord put in my spirit genocide. And I was like, Lord, I had no idea what genocide meant. And so I looked it up in the dictionary. Genocide is the mass killing of a certain ethnic group for whatever reason. And then the Lord said monstrosity. And a monstrosity is a very terrible and a very bad thing. And so the Lord was revealing to me, about praying about these genocides. And that's the one thing that Mr. Barbee is into. He's wanting to, he's from Chicago, and he's been there amongst the crimes in Chicago, and God has sent him to extend restoration. First of all, starting in his hometown. You know, where God also said God lets the child as his own. So he's been trying to get up the revenue and all that to start this great grassroots community activist movement and grassroots community activist institute so that he can make better the lives of the black people because they're going through poverty, they're going through a lot of struggles. And so he was trying to get the people to wake up, as God is saying, a little something, a little fold in the hands, that she'll poverty be. God has sent one to help to change the situations that's going on in the land. But yet people are not hearkening into the voice. And God is giving you help. He's helping people to get grants. He's helping people they're trying to start businesses. He's got so many different resources he's trying to help. But he's like John the Baptist. He's the voice crying out in the wilderness. And he's saying, it's so much going on. In Chicago, you want to start out in Chicago, then you want to move on, to Brazil and to Africa and all these, different places that God's places his heart to do this great vision because of what's going on now. The enemy has sent in his coverts to steal from the people of God. And God wants to restore. And so his heart is crying out that you would help, and we'll all work together, join together to help. Because it's a sad shame that there's been violence done against black people for so many years. And yet they want to, just like the thing that happened with George Floyd, had it not been for that person recording it with their cell phone, I guarantee you it might not even have been reported. It might not even been stated. But someone took the courage to stand there and record this horrendous act from beginning to the end to bring justice. God said you got to cry. He gave you a voice. He said cry out. Speak out. He said you have not because you ask not. You want freedom. You want all of these things. But he said, ask you shall receive, seeking you shall find, and knock and it shall be open. But people have to wake up and get their hands out of the sand and stop trying to act like they don't know what's going on and get in tune with what's going on. Because the powers of that being, they're not playing around. And to erase black history, as I said, is an insult. It's many black men and women that have died, been lynched, hung on trees, have been slaves. Slave masters have raped our foremothers, and our forefathers had to watch their wives be raped and raising up big children. And this is not an organization of hate. We love everybody, but it's just to meet the needs of blacks because right now, blacks are in need. It's not many people crying out for the needs of blacks. And it's sad how they've they're trying to cover the Asian people, telling people, stop, bringing up these hate crimes against the Asians. But what about the black people that have been through for hundreds of years?
Okay, Evangelist, let me jump in for a moment, please, because you just hit a nerve, and you made a good point, and that's what I talked about, on my show on Thursday. Right now, and I don't know if you know this. Right now, Asian Americans are they are protected status, just like the American eagle. Did you know that?
Wow.
Did you know that?
No.
And that's what I listed under my on my transcript on my Medium page. If they want to know more about that. But basically, Joe Biden, and the Democrats, while I was warning our people not to really celebrate too much about the George Floyd case because it's going to be a hidden hand. So anyway, while we were distracted about that, they pushed a bill called the COVID-19 hate crime bill. And so it passed by both House, Democrats and Republicans, and usually they don't agree on anything. But they both they got in cahoots and they was in agreement with that, and now that's law.
Wow.
Yeah, so now they were even making it that even if you verbally say something, like an insult or slur to an Asian, that's considered a hate crime.
Wow.
Yeah. So what? Like I was sharing with you the other day, and I shared with other people, and also I posted on my Facebook page. It was a little 6-year-old black boy that got shot in his arm by an Asian man. And so thank God at least they have this recorded. And his bond was only $10,000 for attempted for attempted murder. So a lot of the black grassroots organizations, they organized and they was calling, the prosecutors and the police. And so what happened? They had to upgrade that man's charges.
So you mean to tell me they gave him about $10,000, and according to my knowledge, I believe it's 15 on every 100 to get out. So it would have been what, $1,500 for him to get out on a $10,000 bond, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's 15 on every 100. So that's crazy.
That is crazy, but hold on though. I just want you to know too. People can look at that on my Facebook page, so that way they'll know what we're talking about.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little child at that.
Yeah, 6-year-old.
And he wasn't even prosecuted.
Well, what happened was he was just in jail, but what I'm saying is that he got out, and the bond was so low, and yet a lot of black people, they have to sit in jail because they don't have the money to bond out, and they didn't kill anyone. So I'm just saying all these double standards, and that's what I thank the Lord that we are in the information age, and we have all this technology. So I want to connect with other black people that's sick and tired of the double standards, and the people that's pro America. That's fine if they want to stay here and keep fighting and being treated like second and third class citizens. That's on them. But I just want to be able to get this Christian business started, here in Chicago. First, I got to get that film so that way I can be in a position to turn, the vision into a reality. That's why I keep trying to, encourage my group members to be on code to help us raise the funds and share the videos. That's one of the most important things, because on Facebook I have I'm just gonna say like around 14,000 people that's on my friends list, but yet I only have 200 people that subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that's not cool.
Yeah, it's so true.
But anyway, woman of God, all I'm saying is that it's gonna get worse for black people here in America. I watched a news clip about President Biden. He went down to the Oklahoma, Tulsa, talking about the massacre, the race massacre, and the Congressional Black Caucus. They didn't say anything about compensation for those people because it was a few survivors. All they was doing is sitting up there dancing, shucking and jiving. That's what I'm saying. We can't have those type of people to be our leaders. We have to elect people that's going to fight for the community and for black people. I'm just saying, if you do your research, and you'll see him there just talking, like he's running for public office, and he keep talking about stuff for everybody. But he didn't say that when they was passing that bill for specifically the Asian community. So when it comes down to black people, they always want to put us into for everybody. We want stuff specifically for us. We also want to be able to have our own hate crime bill too.
Wow. Yeah, I said, it should be a real pass for black people, especially what happened, with the George Floyd, and it's been going on really for years and years and years and years, the assassination of
Dr.
Dr.
King,
Martin Luther King and,
Malcolm X,
Malcolm X,
Medgar Evers.
Yeah, so many, black activists that have been killed for the sake of the cause. Yeah. To bring change. And God uses people to bring changes to the nation, to this generation. It takes one voice to get it started, and then many voices come in to help that one voice to get the word out and for people to do work also. The Bible says faith without works is dead. You can have a lot of faith, but it takes work going on with the faith.
Yeah. The only thing what's different about this, our organization, Grecaio Chicago, that makes us different than other black organizations is that we want to raise the bar and the standards in black America. Again, I don't associate with con artists, hardened criminals, urban terrorists, pedophiles, and rapists. So I want to make sure I have this technology where we could screen people's thumbprint, and also people sign a community pledge. So that way we could screen law-abiding citizens versus those that want to be the Pookie and Ray Rays. We can't have those people up in this organization because they're going to just bring it down just like other black organizations. We're serious about trying to work with people that want more out of life. And we want to make this a model for other cities across the United States. So if it I would say expand like wildfire in other states, such as in your state as well, North Carolina, then fine. That's fine with me. But, I just want to get it started here where I'm at first. As far as I'm concerned in terms of, like the black on black crime and stuff, that's going on in every inner city. So you can't run away from that. So that's why I want to start with, trying to do something for my city here where I'm at. And woman of God, I just want to say too, with Grecaio Chicago, once we get it up and running here, we're going to launch African tours. And all my African friends that's on my friends list that has businesses or Christian leaders, I want us to meet those people in person. So that way we can interact with them rather than having them behind a computer. So that's what's going to make this organization effective that way too. So that way we can trade. We can set up satellite communities in these different inner cities. I'm going to at least focus only on 5. Even though I prefer, if it was up to me, it would be all the inner cities in America. But, I've been pushing this for 29 years. I don't have another 29 years to waste. I just want to be able to find, qualified black middle class professionals, turn the organization over to them so that they can help manage it and run it. And I want to take my talents and skills to the continent and help our brothers and sisters on the continent to organize, teach them how to create their own jobs, nonprofits, provide employment with them, and for us to generate capital and buy property, because what's going on over there on the continent is, yes, the Chinese are becoming the new colonizers, and we don't want that. That's our ancestral homeland. I don't understand why black people want to stay here and be treated like a second-class citizen, and America still don't care. We've been marching for 53 years for freedom, justice, and equality. So I'm like, if they want to stay here and do that stuff, that's on them. But this is what the Lord has called me to do, and for us to reclaim our ancestral homeland, I want to recruit the best of the diaspora, so that way we could take our talents and skills to the continent and help build up, the African slums, once we're over there. This business is based on two, I'm going to say two main sectors, a nonprofit sector and a for-profit sector. So that way, we don't have to be at the mercy, of begging the financial elites for stuff. We'll just, learn how to practice um, group economics. That's why I want people to purchase my book. Read it too. Don't just buy the book. Read my story, so that way I don't have to waste time trying to explain it. And woman of God, I just want to go a step further too. Non-black sympathizers are welcome to join us. So I'm not just saying, this is just for black people. Other racial groups, they're welcome to join us, but we as black people, we have to create it and we have to own it. Because I don't want our people to constantly complain about that we don't own anything. This is your opportunity to own something. We have to build this. So that way we can pass it down to our children's children. And I'm willing to share. Yeah, I'm willing to share, the limelight with different people. But I want to make sure that those people are going to be on the up and up with us. That's all. I don't want con artists and someone that's going to, sellouts and people that want to undermine us. We don't want that kind of stuff in this organization. So that's how come I want to run this business the way I run my home, and that's drama free. And it's based on my experience. All this unnecessary, I'm gonna say, rejection that I've been receiving. As far as I'm concerned, from a spiritual point, it was just like when Moses was trying to talk to Pharaoh. God allowed Pharaoh to harden his heart, so that way he can get all the credit and glory for getting his chosen people out of Egypt. So that's what I believe. That's what the Lord is doing with Black America. He's allowing them to harden their hearts against, the vision that He has given me. But that's how come I'm reaching out to the global black family, because we are only 12% of the population, and we can't get along within that 12%. So we have to learn as black people how to get along with each other. Get our house in order and stuff like that, and then we can invite guests. But yes, we are going to compete with those non-black foreigners in Africa, and we want to teach our people how to compete. And we want to get property there, so that way they don't take all the prime real estate. That's what's going on in Africa right now too. Sierra Leone allowed China to buy part of a lot of land in terms of the beach. That's not right. But that's just people what the financial elites put in place. People that don't have our interests. So we don't want those people to represent us that don't have our best interests. So, woman of God, do you have anything you want to say on that? If not, we can just call it a night. I was hoping I can get some callers to call in, but I don't see anyone. So, but I'm real about what I'm trying to do, and I know that eventually the Lord is going to open up these doors for me to carry out the vision.
What's required?
So is there anything else you want to say before I call it a night with this, podcast?
Amen.
All right, well, we're gonna conclude the show for this evening. Thank you all for listening. Again, I appreciate if people would actually call in to interact with us. I don't want to sit up here and just do all the talking. And eventually, I want to be able to, turn all the ideas into a reality, starting here in the city of Chicago. And that's my credibility, what I'm trying to do now, what I'm doing by creating this show. I'm not just sitting up here twiddling my thumbs. I want to connect with other like-minded, smart and brave black people that don't have a failure mentality but have a winning attitude, that we can do this. That's why we're going through so much trauma right now, because we're not unified and connecting with the right people. The Pookie and Ray Rays, that's not my concern. All I can do is just pray for them that God would touch them to turn their life around. But I want to connect with those that want more out of life. And so I'm going to do the best that I can to, try to raise the capital, to get this film fully funded and made. And then from that point on, do everything that I've written. Use this business as a way to launch our African tours. We want to visit 10 African nations. We want to set up our African business there. I want to encourage my members to apply for dual citizenship. And so that they don't have to sit up here and be going through all this unnecessary drama and going through casualties. Life is too short to be going through unnecessary drama. With that being said, I'm going to close the show for this evening. That's going to conclude our show.